Hey everyone, thanks for tapping into Constant Cadence with Matt. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and I hope you're getting ready to have a very happy new year and a great 2025. I have a lot to be thankful for in 2024, not the least of which is being able to get this channel launched and engage with the vibrant watch lover community. And I certainly have all of you to thank for that. And I hope you'll continue to get value out of the content and contribute in the comments. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a watch that's really special to me. I consider it my grail watch, and it's the favorite watch in my collection at this point. Um, there's a rich history with the manufacturer and the watch design itself. And I'll talk a little bit about like approaches for acquiring Grail watch. I went about this a little bit differently than I think most people would go about acquiring a watch and not just acquiring it and paying for it, but also determining if it was the right watch for me. So to cut to the chase, today I'm going to be talking about the IWC Ingenieur. And this was a reissue essentially that made its debut in the 2023 Watches and Wonder show and has been somewhat controversial, but also been a great success. I think the price has been the biggest part of the controversy, but there are some design controversies as well. But I absolutely love this watch. I love wearing it. I've made some modifications recently, which I've shared with the channel. I also love those, and I think they're fantastic. There may be a few drawbacks, and I'll call those out as well. But I think this is a fantastic watch. It's my Grail watch for the time being. And thanks again for joining. Let's get into the review. Just looking at the specs, this is a 40 millimeter case with 10.7 millimeter thickness. It wears extremely well. I mean, it's almost like it becomes a part of your body. It's one of the things I like most about this watch is it just feels great on your wrist. It also has 10 bar of water resistance, which is awesome. And it has what they call soft iron around the movement, which gives it anti-magnetic characteristics that are really great. And as a matter of fact, we can talk a little bit about the history of the watch, but it's really designed to be a round, anti-magnetic, shock resistant, water resistant, robust watch. The dial has some really cool texture to it, and there are great colors. There's the aqua that has the notable distinction of the polished center links. Then there's the latest blue, which is awesome, the white, the black. And then farthest to the right pictured, you'll see the titanium with its own unique subdued dial. So just looking at some of the history, you can see the reference 666 and 866. They're pretty basic, durable watches. The real change came in 1976 when they got Gerald Genta to come up with the integrated bracelet design. It's interesting, there's actually a pocket watch. They continue to do some anti-magnetic innovations throughout the 80s, partnered with AMG in the 2000s. There's actually a tourbillon version, which I had no idea about. It's super interesting. And then a perpetual calendar version as well, until you get to the modern version, which I'm reviewing today. The thing I really like about this modern version is the addition of the crown guards. I think was the right thing. It's controversial, but I think it adds that level of sportiness that just makes it super wearable in a lot of different circumstances. I think this is an awesome go anywhere, do anything watch. You can see here I'm wearing it with some bracelets. I think it looks awesome under the cuff, in this case, a French cuff with some cool cuff links. I just think it's really elegant. It has just the right touch of modern. The detail in the sort of the waffle pattern on the dial is great. And again, really good in lots of different situations. So, what could be negative, you ask, about this beautiful watch? I'm just going to talk about two things. First, we'll talk about the butterfly clasp, which is something you can do something about. They actually do offer a micro adjust clasp. You you can see here, we've got the deployant clasp style. I think it looks great. I think they really fitted it to the watch. In keeping with an integrated bracelet, you just push the IWC button, and that will allow you to extend the bracelet quite a bit, and then it just ratchets back in. It's really well designed and works great. The other potentially negative thing is the cost. So these retail for $11,700, and you can really only get them, for the most part, you're hard pressed to get them outside of a boutique. So authorized dealers, I don't believe, have been released this model yet. And so that's a lot of money, and you want to make sure that the watch is right for you. And I think I did things a little bit differently. Maybe folks won't like it. Maybe you will. But enter Iwc Ingenieur. Yes, this is an homage, a knockoff, an homage, whatever you want to call it. It's not a replica because it is branded separately. They did run into some issues with IWC. This will run you about $200. The dimensions are similar, but you can see this is not really the same thing. But you do get a feel for the watch and how it wears and the dial more or less. And I went ahead and purchased the Iwc Ingenieur, and I wore it for about a week. And that's pretty much all it took. The picture on the left is me in a boutique trying on the actual Ingenieur. And the picture on the right is of me wearing the Iwc Ingenieur. And, they're similar enough that I thought I would give it a try. It's an expensive watch. I wanted to see how it felt over the course of multiple days. And I thought that was better for me than just going to the boutique 3, 4, 5, 6 times to continually try it on. So that's how I knew that I wanted an IWC Ingenieur. And I'd like to get your opinions on that. For me, it worked. I thought the Iwc was close enough that it really gave me a good feel for whether the watch would work for me. And couple that with many visits to the boutique, and I was sure. So in the end, what I wound up doing was I kept a close eye out on Chrono 24 for a very good condition used Ingenieur, and I purchased that, and it was almost in perfect shape. It's really been a great watch. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the IWC Ingenieur. Again, really a special watch to me. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up, see if I can get that dial in. I would say, this watch is has a lot of things going for it, but the top four for me would be the history with Gerald Genta's design influence. And this is a very different watch than a Royal Oak or a Nautilus. I think it's a very unique design, and I love the latest editions of the Crown Guard. The Crown Guards give it kind of a sportier feel, but the history with that Gerald Genta influence, I think, really attracted me to it. Second of all would be the wearability. This watch wears like no other watch. I have a Rolex Submariner and a couple of other Omegas and Aquaterra, etc. and I'll review those as well. But in terms of wearability, this has them all beat. It just feels like an extension of your body. And it truly is a go anywhere, do anything watch with the water resistance, with the classic looks, a touch of modern, a little bit dressy, and also the sportiness. I think it really is an exceptional go anywhere, do anything watch. And then also the quality. I really respect IWC. They have a lot of fantastic watches that are historical, and keep pace with the modern day in terms of evolving and growing. And they are in league with heavy hitters within Richemont brands. So I think it's just got a lot of things going for it. I mentioned some of the shortcomings. The price is 11.7 list. If you look, you can find, it takes time, but you can find for around 9,000, you can find very, very lightly used engineer that will be very close to the new watch experience. And in terms of sizing, I really didn't have too much of an issue with the butterfly clasp, but the micro adjust, I think, just looks great, and it gives you so much adjustability. Those two issues are really put to bed, in my opinion. It's a little bit of a reach on price for many, but I think if you can muster it, you're getting a watch that hits way above that price point. And I really can't say much more about it than that. So thanks again for tapping into Constant Cadence with Matt. I hope you have a wonderful 2025, and I hope your dial makes you smile.